like, who's good? Who do you think is good? Like right now, after 6 weeks, if you had to pick a Super Bowl, you could go back to the summer, right? We get in a time machine, George. We go back to the preview show. I picked Bills and Rams. Am I crazy for I still love the Rams. I still think the Rams are the best team in the league. Across the board, I think they're the most complete team. They could beat you through the air. They could beat you on the ground. They got a quarterback that could go into any building and win, and you feel confident in a 2-minute drive. Their defense makes plays. They have a stud in Jared Verse. They got a really good head coach. I'm upset that sometimes he has some brain farts at the wheel. That's why I thought the Eagles game, give him a mulligan. Like, that was a collapse that happens 1 in 100 games that they play. How they lost to the Niners, too. I think it's the Rams in the NFC. And then in the AFC, I would have to go with Kansas City now. I said this 2 weeks ago. I think they're back. Look, they get Rashid Rice back this week. So now they're going to have Hollywood Brown, Rashid Rice, Worthy, Juju. Then, you still got Kelsey. Pacheco's running harder and harder every week. Offensive line is good. It played well yesterday, and Simmons got rolled out an hour before kickoff. And now Mahomes is the favorite for the MVP right now. Who, by the way, is having a crazy year. And it's just like, Baker. Matthew Stafford and Daniel Jones.
I was about to say, bro, because if you don't bring up the Colts right now, I'm about to have to tell you that they are the cream of the crop in the AFC, bro. There was multiple plays that Daniel Jones made yesterday, and I get it's the Cardinals, but it just has gone to show me that this is what a team that can go to the Super Bowl looks like. All the passes that Daniel Jones makes are in a clean pocket. They are wide open throws because Jonathan Taylor is a scary individual. And whenever you do a play action pass, it opens up so many gaps in the defense that Daniel Jones is cooking people. And that was the Cardinals' best shot yesterday. But it's been week in and week out with Daniel Jones that he's a gamer. And this is a Colts team that, yes, people are talking about him. It's not as crazy as Baker Mayfield is. But I'll go back to this take that I had a few weeks ago with Justin Herbert. It's like highlights happen on broken teams, especially at the quarterback position when you're having to scramble for your life. And that's not necessarily a good sign for your football team. It was a lucky play. That's why it's a highlight. And we have to start identifying that in teams that we watch that are successful. The Colts move the ball up and down the field effortlessly. They don't stall. They don't hiccup. And I see that with the Chiefs. And, this is a team that, what are they, 3-4 now? No.
Who?
The Chiefs. They're
The Chiefs are 3-3.
3-3.
Yeah.
Yeah. They know exactly what the recipe is to get into late January and February. And so they're still not going to show all their cards yet. And I agree with you that they're a good team, but don't overlook the best looking offense so far in the NFL.
Counter. Offensively, I have no issues.
Yes.
I like Warren. I like Taylor. I like Daniel Jones. He also has the PED of leaving the Giants and going on to have a monster year. We're seeing that with a lot of quarterbacks. Hey, it might not be the quarterback. It might be the organization they go to. We'll get to that in a little bit when we revisit Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield. Daniel Jones leaves, is having a sensational year. I like Downs. I like Pittman. I like Alec Pierce. They got weapons. They got a good offensive line. I don't like that as a 10-point favorite against a backup quarterback in Brissett.
Revenge game Brissett, though.
Fair.
That was like a so underestimated revenge game, bro. He was playing fucking out of his mind.
Yeah. He was playing well. Bam Knight, he got a chance to start at running back and play at running back. Him and Michael Carter split it. They lost Marvin Harrison Jr. during the game. My thing is that a little too close to comfort for me. against a Cardinals team that I think that loss to the Titans is going to be very similar to how the Commanders beat the Bears last year and sent their team on a tailspin, kind of the same way. Their defense is probably my biggest concern. I think their offense is a top 5 unit in the league.
Yeah.
Legit. And Daniel Jones is in the conversation. The only threat to Offensive Player of the Year is Jonathan Taylor, for sure. He keeps rolling. 123 yards and another rushing touchdown. My concern is the defense. What would you say to that as a Colts truther?
Counter?
Yeah, a counter to my counter?
A few weeks ago on this show, I had said that the Colts had beat themselves when they lost to the Rams, and you agreed with me. And you also just said that the Rams are your favorite team in the NFL. So the Colts technically beat your favorite team in the NFL right now. Checkmate.
Yeah, that's a 10-8.
That's a 10-8, bro. Yeah. That's I know that it seems hard to fathom because the offense, when it's not broken, doesn't look crazy flashy.
Yeah.
But you got to believe it when it's staring at you in the face.
And like, correct me if I'm wrong, and if you feel like this is a whack take to have, but let's use the Chiefs and the Giants, for example, right? Just hear me out. Both of them are 2-1 in their last 3 games, and they lost games in between, like, right? The Chiefs lost to the Jaguars. Bro, 9 different things had to happen in favor for the Jags to win that game. Fucking Trevor Lawrence falls down, gets up, falls again, then scores a touchdown. Pat Mahomes, for the first time in his career, gets duped by a defender. And, Devin Lloyd houses an interception that goes back the other way. And even then, it came down to 1 possession. You know what I mean? Like, you throw a pick 6, that's a 14-point swing. 10 if we're being polite. And like we say, all right, you were to settle for a field goal. So your counter to my counter, that was a checkmate. Yeah, I don't really have anything to say to that.
But can I like make you feel a little bit better here?
I would like that, yeah.
Let's go Kansas City versus the Rams. We could put this bet in right now. It's 33-1. Do we feel like we've lost full confidence on the fact that the Bills can make it to the Super Bowl?
It was funny. Impy, who's been on the show with you, I used to do Veterans Minimum with him. We were talking about Buffalo because I think someone in the chat had asked about like my futures or whatever. And I was like, man, everything in the AFC is Bills. And then I have like 4 teams. And I just faded Philly, right? And it's the same thing. We talk about this all the time, bro. You got to take a stand somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just pick everybody. So what I like to do is the one team I feel the most confident in, which was Buffalo coming into the year. Definitely don't feel that now. I paired it with 4 other teams. Packers, Rams, Niners, and then I sprinkled a little bit on the Bears as like a long shot, right? Just because I was higher than consensus on Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Now looking at it, I'm the least confident in Buffalo. I'm the most confident in the Rams. And then it's probably the Packers. I'd say the Niners, but they're snake bit. This conversation about who's good, let's talk about your boy Baker and the Bucks.
Yeah.
5-1. Best record in the NFC right now. He's the second favorite behind Pat Mahomes for MVP. You've been talking about him since he was 30-1. Even last week, he was 15-1. Now he's the second favorite. How do you feel about Baker and the Bucks? Because I have a lot to get off my chest that I think is going to excite you.
This is tough for me, Nick, because you just had said you got to take a stand, right? And so I, at the beginning of the year in our NFL Hot Takes episode, had said that the Colts were going to be the number 1 seed, which I did not bet, and that this would be remembered as the Baker Mayfield year for the Bucks, and they would be the most explosive offense in all of the NFL. And had I stuck to my guns, I'd look like a fucking Nostradamus here with the way that I've been predicting shit. However, I'm taking a stand with this. I like my Daniel Jones at 70-1 to win MVP, which I put in week 3, more than I would like my Baker Mayfield at 30-1 ticket, which I did not put in. So I am saying all this to say that Baker works best as an underdog, and we're making him too much of the front runner and like best quarterback in the league. And that's not where Baker Mayfield needs to be to see ultimate Baker results. So I just want to make, everybody's expectation lowered a little bit and help them realize that this Lions team this next week, if your weapons are out, and I understand that they just lost Branch and their secondary's beat up, it's still a tough-ass football team. And it's some get back from last year, too. And this is going to be like the first chink in the armor to showing that the Buccaneers aren't everything that are people are cracking them out to be. Now, the last thing I'll leave with is it's a full season, and this is like the scariest place to be the front runner of any award, in my opinion. Do you feel the same way? Like if you were the front runner week 6, does it frighten you just a little bit? When do you want to peak?
Yes and no, because let's use Bijan, for example. If he stays healthy, I think we got it. I told you the same thing last year with Barkley at halftime of week 1. I was like, yo, if he's healthy, it's ours. Because you just got to watch, bro. You just watch and you see, like, the way he's utilized, the plays he was making. We talk about the wild plays. Like, bro, 81-yard touchdown he had. Just the way he just jukes people out their socks. Like, yeah, would you rather be peaking late? Sure, look at Lamar Jackson 2 years ago. He was okay. And then he had those bam, bam, bam plays and moments in big games that changed the MVP race. So you're right. Right now, Baker Mayfield through 6 games. And this is why I think he should be the favorite for the MVP award. But the reason why he's not is you project moving forward. And like Kansas City's schedule gets light. Tampa's schedule is going to get really tough. Starting with Monday Night Football next week, they play at Detroit. Hear me out because I'm about to be a little long-winded here, George. Baker Mayfield through the first 6 games, he's 5-1. 12 touchdowns, 1 interception. How many big plays has he picked up on the ground, which you would never think Baker Mayfield is a running quarterback. And he's not. But games on the line, he puts himself out there. He tries to make a play. Baker Mayfield has done all this, George, without wide receiver one. This is the week 1 depth chart, right? Wide receiver 1, 2, 3, 4. This includes Ibuka, who coming into week 6 was the leading candidate for Offensive Rookie of the Year. Bucky Irving got hurt. Right guard hurt. Wirfs hurt. 5-1. Defensive guys in and out. 5-1. Baker Mayfield is making it really hard to defend Justin Herbert, to defend Daniel Jones in the pass, to defend Sam Darnold in the pass, to defend Josh Allen now. It's like, yo, bro, listen, he don't got no one out there. Tez Johnson was on the practice squad. He catches the game-winning touchdown. He's hearing MVP chants, and he's like, damn, what'd I do? What'd I do to deserve these? And then Sterling Shepard is like, bro, they're talking about Baker. He goes, oh, yeah, I get it. Right? Cameron Johnson scores a touchdown, and there's these dudes that are these huge betting influencers. They were celebrating because they thought it was Tez Johnson. And they're like, bro, who even is this guy Johnson that scored the first touchdown for them? And Baker gets popped, and he gets up, he starts talking shit. Obviously, the 3rd and 14 run that you saw that was happening, he converts that too. Let me tell you this. They played Detroit this week. I think Detroit, I've been telling you this for 2.5 years, bro, from the time that we met and we became close friends. They are the most fraud team in the league. Most fraud good team in the league. When they play shit teams, they cover the spread and they blow them out. When they play good teams, they get bullied. They get bullied. They got bullied by Green Bay week 1. They got bullied by Kansas City, and then look in between. Okay, you light up the Browns. Whoop-de-doo. The Ravens game was impressive because it was on the road on Monday Night Football, but we might look back at that and be like, damn, the Ravens gave up the most points in fucking NFL history. How impressive of a win was that? You beat up on the Bears, which we got to give it to you, especially for me who was high on the Bears. But that was the Ben Johnson revenge game. So you had that little extra juice there. I think the Lions are the most fraud team in the league. But if Baker goes in to Detroit and wins shorthanded with all these weapons, prime time, as an underdog, MVP is his, bro. Even though I'm shitting on the Lions.
Right.
I'm talking about the fact that everything that he's not working with. Bro, imagine this team when they get everyone back. Best team in the NFC, probably.
Definitely best offense.
Because they're winning now without these guys. Now imagine these guys come back. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I just know that Baker works best under the radar. And right now he's flying too close to the sun, and this is going to be a humbling week. A Lions bounce back week. Because, I mean, shit, bro, that game was theirs. I don't know if we want to segue into either the Bucs game or the Bills game, but like,
well, I mean, there was not much to talk about Buffalo. We're good on that.
Yeah.
But with that Bucs game with the Niners, what else do you want to mention about that? That the Niners are the most snake bit team in NFL history. Them and the Ravens. Who would you pick if you had to pick one or the other? Because this has been like 5 years now in a row where both of them just get absolutely smoked by injuries, and we're talking about like your top guys on salary.
Yeah.
Who would you have to pick?
I would say the 49ers, just because of premium positions and the people that, I mean, like Kittle not being like present in these lineups was like the last hope of the superstars that you saw 3-4 years ago, in which you were feeling confident like, oh, our offense has got some juice. I feel like they don't use Kyle Juszczyk enough either. The one guy that does remain rather healthy, his usage rate is super low. But yeah, the 49ers, that Fred Warner one, you had said a few weeks ago that Fred Warner was at like 40-1 to win Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, the odds just jumped out to me because he's the best linebacker in the league, and he's just always...
He's there.
Yeah, just always good, always there, always available. And now it sucks because like he was the one guy that could cover up a lot of the issues that they would have, and that's a big loss, man. Even Kyle Shanahan, as he was getting interviewed coming off the field by the CBS broadcast, you saw he was like at a loss for words. Yeah, he was like, yeah, well, you know,
it's more than the plays they make; it's the way they communicate the calls to everybody and the trust that they, you know, allow the rest of their players to have. Like, that shit's priceless. So, but you had mentioned the Ravens, and the Ravens, can I just say, from their game versus the Rams this past week, in which they lost 17-3, shout out to, or, you know, like, not shout out, but it sucks if you had Derrick Henry anytime touchdown on your anytime touchdown parlays. That was criminal acts, the way that they couldn't get him in the end zone before the half there. What the fuck are the Ravens doing not playing Tyler Huntley at quarterback? Dude had almost the identical stat line of Cooper Rush through 3 quarters and 1 quarter. And I've never seen this ever happen, bro, but like he literally looks like Lamar Jackson on the field. His movements, his hesitations, the way the offense is literally centered like how they have it with Lamar. I don't know if Monken or it's Harbaugh that has the FanDuel bank account loaded up right now, but there needs to be an investigation done.
Bro, you just reminded me about something. Calvin Ridley in Vegas pulls a hamstring. Most heavily wagered props were Calvin Ridley. Some of the most heavily wagered props. Listen, it's serious allegations, especially for a guy who sat out a year, got suspended for betting. I'm just saying, bro, kind of suspect behavior. Kind of suspicious behavior, but continue. Sorry, I just...
No, I mean,
just crossed my mind.
We're talking about right now the possibility that the Ravens have been doing just like, you know, massive point shaving. It's a completely different offense, Nick. Like, they have not been able to do what they've done with Lamar with Cooper Rush at all. And
bro,
they need to cut it out with the fucking tush pushes too with Mark Andrews. Like, it has not worked for 3 years, yet they keep trying to force feed it like there's going to be a new result. The Ravens are so fucked. It's crazy. But their defense did hold up, or at least had somewhat of a spine to hold the Rams to 17.
No, they did. Yeah, I think it was a very promising performance by the defense. That's a game that I think if you have Lamar Jackson, you probably win that game. To your point, nothing drives me crazier in football, bro, than when you have an offense built around a quarterback and then the backup is nothing like the starter. Lamar Jackson, Cooper Rush, for many different reasons, are nowhere near the same quarterback.
No.
Jaden Daniels, Marcus Mariota, I could still run the same shit with you.
For sure.
I could still run the same stuff with you. If you used to have Peyton Manning and your backup was Michael Vick, it's not going to work. Even though great players, both of them, I'm saying the concept. If I have a quarterback that does RPO, I want my backup to run RPO. That's why I didn't like when Flacco was the starter and then Lamar was the rookie and the backup. It's like, bro, that's why Lamar looked like shit that first year when he came in as a starter. Like during his rookie year when they started him at the end. It was like, bro, this offense was built for a pocket passer that was a statue. Mm-hmm. Then next year, what happens? Oh, shit, an offense around Lamar. What happens? MVP. Oh, yeah, you see when you run an offense for your guy. It'd be the same shit. Like, to your point, I think you run out Huntley and you see. Or you tell Lamar, like, yo, listen, let's not design no runs for you. You're a better passer than both of those guys. And if you're 50%, it's still better than what we're throwing out there now. I still like the Ravens. I'm not panicking yet. You know who else likes the Ravens still?
Who?
The sports books.
Everybody.
Steelers are only minus 105.
It's crazy, man.
The division. And they're 4-1. But look, Steelers, their schedule getting harder. Ravens' schedule getting a lot easier. They play each other twice. Right? Steelers, shout out to the Steelers. Monday winner. We thought it was a generational spot, and it was. You were chilling if you made that bet early. That's why making bets early is important. That line was 4.5. It closed at 6.5. That last drive that Dylan Gabriel and the Browns are going, a lot of people, depending on when they bet that game, they were sweating it. We were chilling. I just don't. I just, if I had to pick though a team between the two, I would say it's definitely the Niners.
Of
being snake bit.
Yeah.
I know we went off on the rails because we spent a lot of time on the Ravens, and rightfully so, but for me, it's easily the Niners. Like Nick Bosa out, Fred Warner out. You know what else is really alarming about the Niners, bro? They can't block anyone. Like Mac Jones is on there with half a kneecap, and he's trying. Trent Williams now used to be like the shoe-in best left tackle. Like he's up there in age now.
For sure. But he does his job. I mean, they're just being put in obvious passing situations, and whenever a defense can just tee off on you, bro, like, and it's evident. Like that's exactly what's happening, and they're putting him in bad spots. So, the Ravens, to me, I'm very worried. I'm a little bit worried too about Nakua's health and like his usage rate. This is good for us, an offensive player of the year, but I would like to see them like not give him kill shot passes to win you ball games every fucking. Can we not throw hospital balls every time?
Haven't I? And you know what's crazy? The play he got hurt on was like the least damaging. Right? It's so weird how shit like that works, bro. But also to your point, yeah, when a guy gets 15 targets a game. And also, I've been complaining about him. We're like, yo, 2 to 3 times a game, he's going to go to the medical tent or just limp off to the sideline. And every single time he's come back in the first 2.5 years he's been in the league, now he didn't come back. Well, actually, he did come back, but I think he might have made it worse. So the plan is for them to sit him going out to London this week. They play the Jaguars. And then from there, they're on a bye week when they come back. Yeah, rest him. That's fine. If you could somehow, you still got Devontae, right? It's not like you don't have anyone there. You still got Devontae Adams, who's playing at a high level. I feel good about the Rams. There's one team that we kind of touched on it before with Calvin Ridley and the Titans. George, it's a sad day, bro.
It is.
It's a sad day. First coach fired is not going to be McDaniel.
Nope.
I had so many screenshots of people cooking me in the comments. I felt good. Video got over 500,000 views on TikTok and on Instagram. Follow us if you don't already. At Veterans Minimum. Great social media manager to my left.
It's been popping again.
It's been popping. We're back.
Join the fun.
We're back. But the Titans let go of Brian Callahan. And the Titans made the decision after he completely buried, threw under the bus, left out to dry his quarterback Cam Ward in that Raiders game.
Yeah.
The team said, nah, bro. We took this guy number 1 overall.
We're picking him.
We're picking him over you.
And what are your thoughts? Yeah, even though it's one of the worst offenses I think I've ever seen in my life being played in the NFL. I mean, that's comparable to like some of the things that the Steelers would throw out there a few years ago and like the Browns. But it just looks like they should be running like a Pop Warner wing tee offense, because you're not going to win games in the NFL with stopping the clock and trying to be explosive. Like, the Titans need to wear teams down, control the clock, and make it easy on Cam Ward, which they are not right now. And the Raiders, man, a team that everybody was shocked. It was my toxic bet of the week, and I still feel like I'm validated in it being my toxic bet of not to bet the Raiders at -4.5, just because the Titans did have a couple of opportunities at the end to claw back, and the Raiders still couldn't score and explode on them for, a bigger type victory at home versus the worst team in the league. But I feel bad for Brian Callahan, bro, because he brought his dad onto the coaching staff this year, which is, I feel, the ultimate dream. Like, if you were growing up as a kid, obviously you'd want to be a player, but as a consolation prize, you'd be like, a coach, I want to coach with my dad in the NFL. Like, that would be the ultimate dream. And his dream got turned into a nightmare in the span of 6 weeks. And, I think now he gets to reap the benefits, go to Cabo. What would you do as a coach if you got fired, Nick? Like, immediately to Colombia?
Yeah, bro. I'm
Cliff Kingsbury, go to Thailand.
Yeah, I'm always looking to go to Colombia for any excuse. I'm trying to get my friends to have bachelor parties down there. It's not going to be the best idea, but it'll be fun for me. I don't have a girl. I can't get in trouble, so that's selfish of me. But yeah, I'm always looking for an excuse to go down there. The funny thing with the Titans is, Cam Ward, per NFL.com, with one touchdown pass on Sunday. Cam Ward has 3 touchdown passes in 6 career games. Only 3 quarterbacks have had less than that. Terry Bradshaw, John Elway, and Alex Smith all ended up having Hall of Fame or serviceable careers. It's just hilarious to me when they're like, yo, number 1 pick, this is what we got for you. Calvin Ridley, Van Jefferson, and Tyler Lockett.
Bro, let's not forget that he was gassing these guys up in the offseason. Like, first week of preseason, he's like, I got the best weapons in the NFL. Like, I'm not worried. He's got the best weapons in the NFL versus their practice squad. Yeah, a whole bunch of no-name. He made Tony Pollard seem like he should be an Offensive Player of the Year candidate at the beginning of the year. So I feel for him, but he also needs to be that was a good lesson on self-awareness. Like Cam Ward, this isn't the transfer portal at the University of Miami. This is the NFL, and teams don't rebuild that fast. Even when you look at the one-hit wonders that we got, maybe not one-hit wonders, the Commanders could still be good this year, but the Commanders, that was a team that was primarily built on veteran leadership, and it just so happened that they had a rookie sensation at the helm. That was not the situation with the Titans. And this is something that I think, looking back on, he's probably going to be like, fuck, man, I made a pretty big mistake in the offseason. I'm probably going to keep my mouth shut and look at Madden ratings before I start talking about who's got the best offense in the league.
Yeah.